for tonight's late IHP show with Maria, your lovely 5D mystic. We get to chit-chat about the Divine's Feminine, or at least the 5D mystic in the Enlightenment Soul Age group Divine's Feminine journey with our lovely spirituality awakening and or spirituality overall, Kundalini, as well as twin flame journey. So I'm going to share a little bit of my experience because there's so many people out there, but also they're not 5D. They are not Christ consciousness. So they don't follow the forgive them for they do not know. They don't follow the turn the other cheek. They also don't follow blessed are those who believe without seeing. Now this is because their own divine masculine. So my mind is my divine masculine. My feminine is my divine, or my divine feminine is my body. And that is something that I've equated and others have in different ways. But here's where spirituality as a journey, it's one, personal. And since I'm an inner child who's independently me, in Mahasamadhi Samadhi, when you're pure consciousness, so your own piece of unconditional love and pure energy, your own piece of your pure inner child, it's because you are in the sphere of that grace that Sadhguru talks about. He just doesn't know that he's talking about a ventral vagal nervous system state, a restorative embodiment, self-aware person, okay? I'm attachment trauma informed. So now that I have attachment trauma informed information, thank you also Daniel Siegel, I can share with you how beautiful having integration of the brain and integration overall, which means I'm a flexible, adaptive, coherent, energized, stable brain, which is why I have intrapersonal and emotional intelligence, which anyone can have as long as they choose to be conscious of themselves. Consciousness means that I don't throw my maladaptive child behavior at you. So I know from my 16 years and up, that I've been working on my child parts without anybody's need of anything because I'm a securely attached whole self. And I know about the child parts because of my lovely Sue Martin, teacher, therapist, I believe is her title. I can check all of that up, but I'm explaining something so that people can understand the word. So consciousness is being looked into, as always, quantum physicists, academics. They also look into how we really shouldn't define people as inherently good or evil. So the 4D collective and 3D, they're on a whole different journey. And so they don't use any of what I'm describing right now, which is why when you go out there and you see these coaches, so the relationship coaches like Twin Flame, they're for people who need them, which are people who are not in their 5D integration of the brain. Okay, so 5D means that your inner child lives. That's why I'm passionate. Always, not just sometimes. And I know Jesus is passion. So my own, again, divine masculine is me and my divine feminine, but I have my own divine masculines for my twin flames. And when people want to decide for other people what the twin flame journey is, that already tells you that they're on Elsa's journey. So that those are spiritual bypassers. Because spirituality, for one, is living a life of meaning and connection beyond the solo self, but two, a divine feminine with clairs does not have questions about who she is. And that's because we are connected to Akash. So the one biggest distinction with a divine feminine is that they will know who their twin flames and soulmates are. That's because we have the tapping into the relational field. So I'm okay with woo-woo pseudoscience because the scientist people, they share and prove there's no demon that possesses you. When you have the quote-unquote demonic possession, also no, yoga doesn't bring demons out of you. So unless you're a flat earther, essentially, you're going to understand that I'm talking to you about trauma charges and more than just that. So abuse, emotional neglect, and a lot more can create a human being's divine feminine, Iksei, no axis, okay? So that's where all the people on Elsa's journey for divine feminine like me, they're all on this journey. They don't know how to use their mind because they're only using their left, like when people try to prove that they know everything about the twin flame journey. Okay, so for one, that's completely going to be something that a divine feminine, an actual divine feminine will be like, yeah, bullshit. You cannot define any other person's spirituality journey for them. You can give them guidelines. You do not know the truth. That's because I'm an independent inner child that has my own relationship with this sphere. Okay, so the twin flame journey is not confusing. In fact, Here's where, when you learn about tantric the right way, not the distorted, westernized way, you know that it's all about true passion. So the truth is, what's that word? For better or for worse, for richer or for poorer, for in sickness and in health, till death do us part. Okay, so when you know what a oneness consciousness is, you know that love is forever. You cannot turn it off or on. That love is a forever feeling that can't be removed. And this comes from a polyamory person. Love is when you are securely attached. Thank you, Stephen Porges, who was going to write a book with his lovely wife, who's also a researcher, about how love can't be what two people feel for each other until they're securely attached within themselves and then with each other, because the secure attachment, the ventral vagal nervous system, is what has our oxytocin gene hormone come on. And in fact, when you look at the brain systems involved for falling in love, the attachment is one of them. And then we also have, of course, focused attention, so that we're paying attention in a way that we want to appreciate each other and share with each other life in 24 hours. And then there can be, of course, the sexual desire is what keeps people on board with more than just that. But here's where what a person who has healthy self-worth and our mammalian heritage can tell you is love is always on. And that's why we take flight in volo. You take flight with the truth. The truth is that alchemy works within the lovely mind, and that our inner child is the guide. And it's only a guide when you're not overwhelmed by your emotional response. Okay, so this is where you can overflow with emotions and be an emotional translator of yourself, when you have had a home that was welcoming and loving. And that's here, first of all. So intimacy, it's with yourself, which you can then have with others, which is why you know that you are enough. You also accept what is, which is also why we have no sagas with our twin flames, and we know that it is never truly the end with any person and any twin flame or flames. So on that note, again, as we talk about the journey, when I began having clairs, one thing made me sad was that I knew some people from my upbringing with Jesus will not welcome me, because now I'm a mystic. I do tarot, I do Akashic record readings, I'm a Reiki master, and I am somebody who's not from the medieval times. And so, you know, they want to give us their stamp of approval, which is why people who say yoga brings demons out of you, really ignorant, but also ignorant people in 4D talking about spiritual warfare and that technology is bringing demons out of anyone. Okay, so, or that's getting rid of our humanity. When you overflow with humanity, divinity has to descend. Thank you, Sadhguru. Divinity is not some entity. It's, consciousness. So dark matter, dark energy. Okay, so one beautiful thing you find out from the neuroscientists is that when you're in a flow state, selflessness, timelessness, the hopelessness is another thing, effortlessness and richness. Okay, so I have experienced these, and I experienced the effortlessness pretty much a lot of the times of when my energy body was expanding. And the way that the neuroscientists describe it is that your body's like, where's myself? Where's time? I'm nowhere to be found. What's going on? And it begins to literally freak out because you're like in those little bubbles. Okay, so you'll know when you have twin flames, nobody gets on a pedestal. You'll know who they are because of the very specific way that you and them will have specific interactions. And that's coming, though, from an empowered woman who's a differentiated self and a whole 3-year-old heart. So I'm grounded in my humanity, which is why I overflow with that connection so you don't get lost. But what I'm going to also say is it's not destabilizing. So if you find the good spirituality people, they will inform you of what guides are for and how to support you. And they won't bring you on fantasy land. They bring you to intuition and they expand you as a person. It's living beyond the solo self, meaning and connection. So us with integration of the brain, unconditional love, tune in for more. It's a very beautiful journey. Nobody gets put on a pedestal. There's no drama or saga. There's simply love.